Today, let's talk about the top 10 blockchains NFTs are minted on. Let's get into it. All right, welcome back. And yes, so we're going to explore the top 10 or top 10 most popular blockchains which we create our NFTs on. Now, this video will be primarily based on an article that I think is fantastic by an author called Kem Dilmejani, and that's on a website called research.aimultiple.com. Now, as always, links will be in the description below. So let's dive into it. Now, I think what he states here is some of the critical factors that he considers while choosing these blockchains are, of course, security, fair enough, scalability and transaction costs, very important, and of course, finally, the volume of NFTs. Now, that's obviously daily trading volume and, of course, total trading volume. All right, so let's go into his top 10, and it's kind of in sequence from, I guess, the biggest to currently the smallest, again, based on data that he's collected and factored into. Again, link will be in the description below, and you'll see exactly what those are, but I will read some of those factors later in the video. So the first one, as we could have guessed, is Ethereum. And he's kind of coupled Ethereum and Polygon being the layer 2 solution to Ethereum. And interestingly enough, he's obviously put scores, which I won't go through the scores, but it's absolutely massive. But then again, Ethereum, as we know, is really the granddaddy, or let's say the big daddy of the blockchains. And most of the OG projects like CryptoPunks, Bored Ape Yacht Club has all been on Ethereum. Now, granted, some of these have doubled up like into Bitcoin ordinals, which we'll kind of touch on a little bit later, and etc., etc. But really, Ethereum is the granddaddy. Now, Polygon, obviously, as we know, has been making huge waves in the recent months, really trying to onboard new projects. So I think combined as a whole, I think it does make sense in terms of Polygon and Ethereum as maybe they're on the singular top one blockchain being used thus far. All right, number 2, which is quite interesting. Again, this data is from January 5th of this year, 2023, is Solana. So what that tells me is obviously Solana, though obviously we know has gone down quite dramatically due to the various things which I won't go into, as we all know, for those who've been following in 2022's kind of crazy year. But then again, Solana obviously still holds a lot of volume and a lot of NFTs from when it was peaking. So it's still up there currently now at number 2. All right, moving on. Number 3, which is no surprise, and I'm pretty excited personally, is Bitcoin. And it's coupled that with Stacks, or the Stacks chain. So Bitcoin, and I think due to obviously Bitcoin ordinals and that whole kind of new trend of inscribing artifacts, as we call it, or NFTs, onto the Bitcoin blockchain. So that's currently now at number 3, and I think there's been a lot of attention, and I think that still will continue to grow in the months, if not years to come. So I think Bitcoin now has kind of solidified itself within that, let's say, NFT ecosystem, as one could say. So, okay, number 4 is Avalanche. Now, Avalanche has been quite interesting, I guess, in the recent months. Not hearing too much, and again, I'll literally disclose it. I haven't obviously been following Avalanche as a project too closely, but certainly at number 4, that's making its own statement, saying it is up there with the development of NFTs and NFTs on the Avalanche chain. All right, number 5 is Binance, or Binance Smart Chain. Now, they've just done something recent, which I think this article hasn't factored in, and Binance has recently released Picasso. That's Binance, B-I, and Picasso put it together, which basically is a tool on their marketplace, Binance NFT, that can generate up to 10,000 NFTs AI generated using prompts. Now, that's definitely a game changer, and we've done a short video, one of our shorts, which again, you could look in the description below for the links to that, about that. But look, I think this is really quite new and innovative, and we'll really see how that plays into its trading volume. Now, prior to that, obviously here being at number 5, again, it's kind of doing some stuff, and of course they've definitely got some volume. Now, I've personally bought into some of the Binance NFTs, one being the Mike Tyson collection and a few others earlier on, but they definitely weren't deemed as really one of the top websites, or sorry, should I say top chains for the minting of NFTs. But now with their new Picasso, we'll see how that plays out. And of course, we'll be tracking that here on BIGONES.NFT. All right, at number 6 is Flow. Now, look, Flow has, as a chain, has really been really positioned itself as one of the top tier, really related with Universal and some of the bigger projects that's out there. And I do think Flow, because of its transaction, its speed, and all that, really has some potential. Now, whether or not it's competing directly with Ethereum, I don't think it's there yet, but certainly it has positioned itself as really like a blue chip, top tier, high quality projects that's related really to, let's say, a lot more, again, movies, celebrities, sporting stars. So I think that's what's quite interesting with Flow, and it is sitting now, or at least on this chart, at number 6. All right, number 7 is Cronos. Now, I'll put my hand up that I'm not 100% familiar with Cronos and its chain and its NFTs. However, we will be doing a deep dive and looking more into that and what kind of projects are on the Cronos chain. Now, at number 8 is Tezos. Now, look, Tezos has been out there, and I think there is quite a strong community on the Tezos chain and Tezos art, and I do believe that in some of the spaces I've been involved in, Twitter spaces that is, I do see a lot of people that really are, say, big fans or loyal to the Tezos chain and the community, and they're really more, let's say, one could say, artists per se, not really doing any PFPs, but more really one-to-ones or digital arts, something like that, in that kind of vein. So again, we'll be looking deeper into the Tezos chain and again the communities and what projects are coming from that. All right, so at number 9, one of my favorite chains, one of the first ones that I really got into a few years back now, is the Wax chain. All right, so Wax really have been doing some great things and working with some pretty amazing IPs, or IPs that I guess at my age group really relate to. And that was one of them has been, of course, Mattel cars. They also did Street Fighter, Princess Bride collection, Ninja Turtles, you name it, and Robotech, which really kind of got me into the Wax and using Wax P tokens into that kind of particular world. So Wax, I think, is at number 9. It's kind of saying they're there, but not really making major waves. However, as I stated, there are some pretty damn good NFT collections on that are, I guess, again, using IPs that more connected to my generation. Okay, moving on is Ronin, and that's the final chain, the Ronin chain. Now, again, Ronin chain really was kind of related to Axie Infinity. I'm not too sure whether or not, and I'd love to hear your comments. Please put the comments below or any feedback on what I'm saying. But I think the Ronin has kind of stayed there or within the top 10 purely because of Axie Infinity and its use. Now, Axie Infinity they've kind of come and go. Certainly the hype, the hype train isn't all there on them at this point, not saying that it won't continue, but certainly a couple of years ago, Axie Infinity was on everyone's everyone's kind of talking point, and rightfully so, because they really did innovate that play to earn concept, or really put play to earn concept at the forefront of people's minds. So anyway, I think that's the top 10 so far. Now here's my take on kind of just an overall viewpoint, and really where I'd be looking and paying close attention to is, for me, is of course the Bitcoin stacks, Bitcoin chain and stacks. Now, I think Bitcoin ordinals and the whole ordinal phenomena with, of course, Taproot Wizard as well, that really highlighted that to me. One in particular, a person by the name of Udi Weathermeyer, that I kind of followed and watched into, really brought into that whole world of the ordinals and all that kind of thing with his project called Taproot Wizards. Okay, anyway, and one more final thought, which I think isn't actually on this list, strangely enough, is Cardano. All right, so Cardano and NFTs that are coming, it seems to be getting hotter. And as the Cardano chain matures, and all that, and of course, we all know Charles Hoskins, that's really kind of at the forefront of pushing this. But with the NFTs, there is a pretty strong community on Cardano NFTs, or CNFTs as they like to call it. So I think that's a chain that's going to find its way up there quite fast, potentially this year in 2023, which we'll be keeping an eye out. Anyway, if you'd like this video, do hit that like, and please subscribe to this channel and turn that notification bell for more kinds of these videos. As always, we'd love to hear your comments, so please put it below. And that's it for now. I'm Gabriel from BIGONES.NFT. Over and out.